What's up, guys? This is just a random video. I kind of thought of it on the weekend, and uh, like maybe during Christmas time, like December, I didn't really make too many videos. I was busy doing family stuff, holiday shopping, visiting people, stuff like that. And then January came around, and New Year's, you're partying, celebrating with family and friends, still kind of having that beginning of the year kind of like recap of what you did the previous year, anything you learned, anything you lost, anything you gained, stuff like that. Just thinking about things. And I wasn't really I was kind of looking at some stuff on YouTube about less lethals and stuff like that in December and January. Not too much, a lot less than previous months. And there comes a time when obviously it's holidays and you just kind of want to chill and relax. But also if you're just constantly thinking about less lethal ammo or less lethal markers or less lethal training or just kind of thinking about it too much or constantly, it kind of wears on you. I'm fine right now. This is not hey, I'm gonna stop or anything like that. I'm still gonna keep making videos. It's just after a while you get kind of burnt out or fatigued with the amount of markers there is, all the different ammunitions you can buy, all the random little accessories you can get, uh, the variety of markers, power levels, how they perform under certain conditions, reliability, maintenance, just a whole laundry list of things that go into remembering, uh, how things work and all that. If it has to have safety on, safety off to pop out mags, if the air goes here, or if the air, I'm sorry, CO2 loads here, or if the CO2 loads underneath the barrel, if it uses CO2, if it uses an HPA, if you can even use HPA on certain things, uh, just all the random stuff that goes with it. And then plus new markers. I don't have a lot of pistol markers, not compared to the whole variety that's out there, because I don't have any pepper ball products, launchers, or obviously I live in California, so I'm not allowed to buy pepper ball actual excuse me uh, ammunition, pepper rounds, not legally. I can't buy those. I'm pretty sure I could find them online really easily, or I can get them somehow, but I'm not supposed to be using them. I'm not supposed to be carrying them. I'm not supposed to be in possession in the state that I'm in. But yeah, if you're constantly thinking about these, it's not bad, but you just don't want to wear yourself out or get too absorbed in it, I guess. And there comes a point, either your budget, or you have no more space for more of them, or you don't want to keep buying a new launcher every 6 months because it's getting power crept by new ones that just came out, or ones that have been out for a few months but you haven't bought it, or maybe there's ones that are lower powered but you like the reliability of them, such as this guy, or these ones, or I've had this one for a year. It's been pretty reliable. Salt Supply S2. This is my Gen 1 HTP 50. This is the Burna SD, which is out of commission right now. My firing pin kind of sheared off. And yeah, it's just, you don't want to get too overly concerned with, day to day, thinking, oh, I need to get the best one. I need to get the most highest powered one. You don't want to cloud your thinking about not specifically having the strongest launchers or the weakest launchers, or oh, I can't protect myself or people I know because my Burna SD is only 12 joules or something. It's mostly training and shot placement. You could have the most powerful launcher, but if you suck at shooting, or if it O-ring blows out on you, or say you get 2 shots and then it jams, stuff happens. You have to be able to adapt or know when to use these or know when not to use them, fight or flight type of stuff. But yeah, just a random little discussion video. Like if you just want to start out with less lethal things, you'd probably just want to go get a HTP 50 Generation 2, a 13 joule version. This is a Gen 1, but this basically is the same thing. It's not orange because I dyed this, but yeah, and it wouldn't come with this speed loader on it. So this is like the base form. This is a good budget-friendly launcher, about $100. HDP 50 Gen 2. This is a Gen 1, but I'm just saying the Generation 2 is very friendly. It's easy to use, low maintenance. Salt Supply S2, a little bit more expensive than this, hits a little bit harder. $230, good price. The Burnett SD, it's very compact. It's actually the smallest one out of all these. It's even smaller than the HDP 50. Shorter barrel, a little bit thicker because it's a 68 caliber, so obviously it's going to be a little bit thicker. But yeah, just if you want to start somewhere, start with one of these. These are good out the box. Obviously the Generation 2, good out the box. You don't have to do anything to them. You don't have to worry about adjusting velocities or ripping it apart and switching things to make it stronger or anything like that. Good starting points, low maintenance. And then, that's like a small pistol style launcher. And then you can get something like this or something like that. This will run you about $120, $170. This is the HDB 68. It does really high power. You do have to modify this to get high power. So if you get a stock one out the box, it's like 7 or 8 joules, which is pretty weak. So there's whole videos and stuff how to make this stronger. Currently this thing hits like 40 to 50 joules depending on what gas I'm using and how cold it is or how warm it is outside. Like I said, $120, $170. This is the Burnett TCR. This is very expensive. This is like $600. But you can adjust the speed on it with the little screw back here. You don't have to do any adjustments or anything. Out the box, it's very reliable. I've never had any issue shooting my Burnett TCR with the normal speeds that it's supposed to be at. Typically uses 12 gram CO2s. All these markers on the table, save for this one, use 12 gram CO2s. This one does currently use 12 gram CO2s because I have this adapter. But yeah, I'm kind of just saying, like, if you're beginning and you don't know what to get, start with one of these. There's other ones you can pick. Pepperball. I don't have a Pepperball TCP or Pepperball TRP. I don't have a Pistol X68. I don't have any of the LTL Bravo, LTL Charlie, LTL Alpha. I don't have any of those. There's a lot of other ones that I like. The Sicario 50 cal. I think it's called Sicario 50 cal. I don't have that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I don't have. And yeah, you can't be overwhelmed with the amount of information. There's people that will just give you information and a lot of it's useful, but there's other people that they want to try to not make you think that super high powered is what you need. It's not bad to have super high power. I'm not against it or anything. It's, whatever you want to do is up to you. But with the high power, you need to do maintenance, stuff like that, which is not bad. It's good to know how to maintenance everything. I can't keep firing these and not maintenance them. I'm going to eventually need to take them apart. Save for this one because it's not good to take this one apart. You're going to need to do maintenance at some point. But yeah, you don't want to be too overwhelmed with all the information and all the different launchers that are available. Don't worry about power creeping. That happens in everything. You buy a car runs fine, gets, 35, 40 miles to the gallon. A couple years later, they make a better version of it or whatever. Nicer radios, nicer internal options on the inside, heated seats. AC runs better. Maybe it gets, instead of getting 35, 40 miles to the gallon, maybe it gets 40 to 45 miles to the gallon. So there's always going to be power creep, joules, how fast they hit, how hard they hit. And it's just like uh, don't get too over don't get too like overindulged or I can't really think, overabsorbed, I guess, and like worrying constantly that like, oh, in 2 months I'm gonna have to buy a new launcher because my old one isn't as strong, or things of that nature. Because what it really comes down to is just knowing how to use your marker or launcher, training with it. Maybe you can't train. You live in a condo or an apartment or something. You don't have like that extra space. Try to find a range that might allow you to, a paintball field, maybe a friend, if you have any friends that live outside of a city or something. But yeah, just obey your local laws. You don't want to get in trouble for, shooting an air gun. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but sometimes people trip out and you'll get, the man called on you. Maybe you get a ticket or a warning. Maybe they'll take it away. I don't know how that works. It's never happened to me. But yeah, just don't think about it too much. If there's certain launchers you don't have, it's not the end of the world. I don't have a lot of launchers, a lot of different brands. I don't have a Grimberg gavel. I don't have a Grimberg carry. I don't know if they're shipping those out yet, but yeah, I don't have Grimberg stuff. It's not like I don't want one. They're just kind of expensive, and I already have a lot of other things not on this table. I have 10 or 15 different launchers, different sizes, different speeds, all that good stuff. These are just the most basic ones where you don't have to modify them or do anything. They just work out the box. Gen 1's okay, but Gen 2 is much better. So, obviously I'm going to recommend the Generation 2 HTP50 over the Gen 1. But yeah, just keep, level head. You don't have to have everything brand new all the time. Your old stuff works fine. If you're a collector, do whatever you want. If you have the money to buy whatever you want, go ahead and do it. I'm not telling you not to. But what it really boils down to is just knowing how to use them, knowing when to use them, knowing the limits of them, knowing like if it's cold, it's not going to hit as hard. If it's warm, it's going to hit harder. Shot placement, tactics, and like knowing when to retreat, knowing when to stand your ground. This isn't always going to work. This isn't always going to work. This isn't always going to work. That's not always going to work. That's not always going to work. If you maintenance it, it should, be pretty good. But you should always have a backup plan. Like I typically always have a pocket knife with me. I have other things in my bag that I can use for some sort of defense or cause distractions or whatever. I'm just kind of giving you a general idea. Like you shouldn't have to rely on this 100% of the time. You also have to use your brain. You have to have instincts to, get out of whatever situation you're in if you ever have to use these for self-defense or home defense or to protect yourself. So don't get too overly absorbed or like worried about not having top of the line launcher or like the most powerful or the most expensive or any of that stuff. Just watch videos, learn how to use them, learn the features. Maybe if you're unsure of reliability, or if you don't care that it reloads, or if you care that it reloads, this one would be one that you'd stock. You can't reload it quickly, so you pretty much dump 6 shots and you're done. These ones you can reload. These two you can reload sort of easily, but you have to have a magazine with you. This one has an issue sort of if you barely tap the top of the magazine, the balls will just fly out. So you have to be kind of cautious or knowledgeable that could happen. The salt supply S2, sometimes people get caps that don't work good. Mine have been fine. So yeah, all of them have strong points. All of them have weak points. They have limits. Yeah, it's just a general knowledge I've learned over the pretty much like the year almost that I've been making videos. Before I started making videos, I had my S2, I had the Byrna SD, I had the TCR, I had a couple BB guns. I think I bought this before I started making videos just because I was watching videos and it looked like an easy marker to modify and get insanely high power out of it. So yeah, I can get like 50 joules out of this. Most of the time it's like around 40, but yeah, 50 joules, 20 joules, maybe 12, and then TCR is adjustable, but out the box you're getting about 12 joules, and once you turn it up you can get it to like 45, 50. But I wouldn't recommend having it that high all the time, because that's when you run into sometimes O-rings pop off or seals break or whatever. So just do that at your own risk. I have experience in fixing these, so I can easily rip this apart, this apart, this apart to fix it. Byrna doesn't sell parts for this, so you have to just send it in if something breaks, which in my case that broke. And yeah, this one's easy to take apart. You can buy parts for this one. So yeah, and parts, you can buy parts for this one. I don't think you can buy specific parts for this. You have to send this one in a salt supply, but you can switch out O-rings and stuff as long as they fit correctly. And same with the Byrna TCR. You can buy parts for this and service it yourself, but obviously if like your shell breaks or something not internal breaks, like my stock, if my stock breaks, I'm screwed. I have to send it into Byrna to get it fixed because they don't manufacture this stock anymore. So yeah, just stuff to think about. I'm not saying I don't like high power launchers. Obviously this is like 50 joules. I do like them. I'm able to carry firearms. I have firearms. I'm not against firearms. Yeah, it's just these are meant to hit somebody, impact them, kind of disorient them, stun them that you actually have a weapon to defend yourself with. If I got my home invaded by somebody and they have a gun, and I know they have a gun, I'm definitely grabbing a gun. I probably wouldn't use a less lethal, just because they have that, deadly advantage. So yeah, that's just stuff to think about. I'm sure you guys have seen some of my content, hopefully. I don't sell things. I'm just a consumer. I just review things. I have access to a paintball store near me, Ann's Gear, and they have CO2 tanks I can get refilled and filled. I typically buy balls and stuff from them, and obviously get my air tanks refilled and my CO2 tanks refilled. I bought accessories from them, and then yeah, online you have Rockstar Tactical, pbsports.com, MCS, Byrna.com, saltsupply.com, discountpaintball.com. I've shop around. I've learned a lot the past year, and one of the things I've learned is don't worry about not having a super high powered launcher, because every launcher has a purpose. Some of the high powered ones are big, so yeah, as you can see, it's pretty small. Back to back, Byrna SD smaller, but sacrifice the power. But if you can use pepper balls, this should be pretty efficient. I would not use pepper balls inside. You'd use them outside. If you use them inside, you could possibly get in that pepper cloud. But yeah, it's just some stuff to think about. You don't have to have everything. I mean, yeah, like I said earlier, if you have the budget to buy everything, by all means, do whatever you want. But it really just comes down to training and knowing the limits of your launchers, and yeah, knowing when to use them and knowing when to not use them. So yeah, just some random little rambling. But yeah, I'll continue making videos. I'm not stopping or anything like that. I'm just, saying stuff that not everyone has to agree with, and that's totally fine. But yeah, thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you guys next time.